All right, so this one came in. It says, as a working mom with a young kid, I am basically just exhausted all the time and feel like I never have time or energy to do anything for myself. People always say, oh, just ask loved ones for help. But that's not always realistic or possible. I find myself caught in a vicious cycle of knowing what I will have, that I will have more energy if I develop some healthier habits, but I'm so tired and overwhelmed. I can't seem to get started with developing those habits. All of my efforts fizzle out within a few days or weeks. It seems obvious that I should just start small, but I don't even know where to start. I have been reading the diet fix, but even setting aside 10 days to go through his reset feels overwhelming. Where do I start? How do I break the cycle of exhaustion? Thank you. All right, so here's what I would encourage you to think about. I work with a lot of busy moms, and one of the things I've noticed is they tend to have too much on their plate, just in general. They've got, the laundry, they've got to run the kids to the sporting events, they've got to do the meals. They're usually the ones that do the meal planning, the grocery shopping. And I'm not saying all, but I'm just saying more percentage-wise seems to go in that direction than maybe all the things being equally split. And the first thing that I find is if you can take some of those general habits off your plate if possible, that's what I would start with, some of those big things if you can. Now, I agree with you. There was times when my little ones were really little and I thought, gosh, I would love an extra set of hands here today, or I really need some help, but there was really nobody to call. Either everybody's at work or they're preoccupied with their own stuff, and you can't always ask for help. You're just not always in that situation. So what I would encourage you to do is focus on such small changes that in no way would anyone even notice they're happening. So if I'm assuming from what you're saying here, weight loss is generally the goal, and that's because you think that it long-term will lead you to having more energy, right? Like if I can get a little healthier, if I can lose a little weight, I'll have more energy to put out. So everything you do is going to revolve around your food, okay? Now, I love the diet fix, love the diet fix, but I am not somebody who would encourage anyone to do the 10-day necessarily steps that he has in there. I think it was when I interviewed him, I actually asked him about that, and he said that the publisher wanted him to have some kind of a process/step system to put in the book. He originally did not have that. That was something he added per the publisher's request, if I'm remembering this conversation correctly, which I think I am. And what that means to me is that to sell the meats and potatoes of the book, he had to put it in there. So I would encourage you not to feel obligated, just like I was talking earlier about my own situation with choosing not to track calories. I would encourage you to think about how can I make these things work for me. So what we might want to focus on is very small things. Like one, in the book, he talks about eating more protein, right? He talks about eating, I think it's like every 2.5 to 3.5 hours. And in my Escape the Food Prison, I talk about at least every 4 hours. So if we're talking about where to begin, everything, that you want to be focusing on falls under the food bucket, because that's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to losing weight, gaining energy, feeling better. So, number one, what if you just set a goal for 1 month to try and eat about every 4 hours? That's it. Don't worry about the quality of the food. Don't worry about what it is you're eating. Just could I at least eat about every 4 hours? Can I be consistent with that? And maybe you already are. Maybe you already are eating every 4 hours. So then the next question is, if I'm already eating every 4 hours, could I incorporate a source of protein at each one of those meals? So maybe right now one of your snacks is something like a bag of popcorn. Could you go through what you're eating in a day and incorporate 20 to 30 grams at meals and 10 to 15 grams at snacks? Just add some protein. That's it. So if you're already eating every 4 hours, check, done. Then could I add in protein? Then start looking if that's already happening or you're already feeling pretty confident with that. Could you add vegetables in to a couple of your meals a day? Baby steps. But do you notice never did I mention tracking? Never did I mention exercise? Never did I mention you doing batch cooking on the weekends and meal planning and prepping or any of that. We're talking basic. Meals every 4 hours. Get that down. And it might take you a month. If you start now, make a goal by the end of May, I want to be eating every 4 hours. That's it. Then once I'm at the end of May, I now want to take that framework and I want to add in protein to those meals. So now I'm eating every 4 hours and I'm eating protein. Take you to the end of May. Then you go, to the end of June. Then at the end of June, you say, okay, I've got the 4 hour eating, the protein. Now I'm going to add in the vegetables. That might take you to the end of July, right? Every month you focus on something else. But guess what? At the end of a year, you could be the person who's eating every 4 hours. You're eating protein, you're eating vegetables. You might be even at that point tracking calories and or kind of condensing down some of the higher calorie foods that you're eating. All of that is going to work you towards this goal of health and eating well and energy. But if you're trying to do everything, you get the menu plan, you're trying to prepare and prepackage everything, you're trying to get the workouts in and you're trying to get the walking in and you got to take care of the kids and you got to take care of the house, you're going to feel really overwhelmed and there's no need. There's no timeline on this. It's not like within 6 months, if you're not done, something is going to happen. Every month that you choose to pick one habit and work on it, you are going to be setting a foundation. As a matter of fact, in the Escape the Food Prison coaching cast, I call it setting your foundation, which is the eating of the protein, the eating every 4 hours. It's the knowing kind of how many treats you're having in a day, sitting down and eating. All of those behaviors are foundational. Until they're in place, it's really difficult for most people to get control over the snacky foods and the fun foods and to eat in a way that supports their goals. So I would start with that. Literally give yourself a month. Don't rush it. And then at the end of a year, you will have changed 12 massive habits. And if they're solid in what you're doing, it's going to only set you up for success in the next 12 months, right? So change the thought process, but ultimately slow the process down, remove a lot of the moving parts, really. And if you think about his 10-step system, what if you took 1 month per step? How would that change the game? And that's how we need to think about this. Not what does somebody else recommend I do in a daily process. What is it I can do? And what can I stick with? Going back to my Dave Ramsey example, I didn't do it with gazelle-like focus because I was letting myself also become healthy in the process, which meant money had to go towards that process. And I wasn't willing to shortchange myself anymore. So you've got to figure out a balance between your normal life and what it is you're trying to achieve and what you're not willing to negotiate.